Let me ask you something real for a moment. Have you ever been in a situation where you did everything right? You texted her on time, you were kind, attentive, and still she slowly drifted away. And then, confusingly, she ends up obsessed with a guy who barely does half of what you did. It hurts, doesn't it? Because it makes you wonder, what do women really crave? It's not your looks. It's not your wallet. It's not even your charm. What makes a woman crave a man deeply is how he makes her feel in her mind. Because attraction isn't just chemistry, it's psychology. It's psychology. And when you understand how to touch her mind, her heart follows effortlessly. So today, I want to reveal 5 secret moves that make her crave you like you're the only man who truly gets her. These aren't manipulation tricks. These are connection truths. These are connection truths. When done right, she won't just want you. She'll feel pulled toward you, even when you're not around. Women are emotional detectives. They love to feel their way into a man's layers. If you give her everything about you too soon, your thoughts, your past, your emotions, she'll admire you, but she won't crave you. Craving begins with curiosity. When you reveal yourself slowly with purpose, she starts to wonder. And that wondering is what keeps you living rent-free in her mind. Free in her mind. Be emotionally available, but not emotionally obvious. Let her feel that there's more to uncover. That's how obsession is born. Don't be the man who's always there. Every time she calls, every time she texts, be the man who appears with intention. When you show up fully, your energy, your attention, your presence, but then pull back just enough for her to miss it. Her craving doesn't grow when you're present. It grows when you're absent just long enough for her to feel the void of your energy. Because when she feels your absence, she realizes how powerful your presence truly is. Women are deeply moved by a man who can feel deeply but express calmly. When she sees you can stay grounded even when things get heated, she feels safe in your strength. She craves that stability. Your calmness during her chaos is what awakens her respect, and respect always precedes desire. So when she tries to provoke a reaction, don't give her drama, give her emotional mastery. That's when her admiration turns into fascination. Touch isn't just physical, it's just physical. It's energetic. The way your eyes linger a second too long, the way your voice drops when you say her name, the way your hand brushes hers and pulls away just before it lingers. These are micro moments that leave her replaying the interaction long after you're gone. She craves what she can't quite have yet. So don't rush to possess her body. First, awaken her mind with anticipation. Touch her without touching her. When a woman talks, she isn't always looking for an answer. She's looking for resonance. The way you listen determines the way she feels seen. Most men hear words. Few hear emotions. When you listen to her, not to respond, but to feel, you build emotional intimacy that no physical touch can replace. She'll crave that energy again and again because being understood feels like home. This one's powerful. She must feel that no matter how much you like her, you won't lose yourself for her. You are your own man with goals, discipline, and peace that doesn't depend on her approval. When a woman feels you could walk away and still remain centered, it creates a psychological tension. She wants to earn your focus. Detachment isn't coldness, it's self-respect in motion. Flirtation without fear is magnetic. Tease her with confidence, challenge her playfully, let her see that you can make her laugh and think at the same time. When you're playful yet grounded, you bring her back to her feminine flow. Laughter is emotional oxygen. And the man who can make her laugh while keeping her intrigued, that's the man she can't forget. A woman's attraction deepens when she can see herself in your world. She starts to replay them, to relive them, to feel them again when you're not even around. That's what subtle touch does. It makes her feel touched without being touched. It invites her imagination to do half the work. And her imagination is far more powerful than anything physical could ever be. The truth is, anyone can touch a body. Very few know how to touch a soul. A subtle touch doesn't rush, doesn't demand, doesn't announce itself, it whispers. It suggests. It gives her room to feel the moment rather than forcing it. When you move with calm confidence, when your gestures are unhurried and intentional, she senses control, and that control is magnetic. It tells her that you're not acting out of impulse, but choice. That you could take more, but you don't need to. That restraint is what builds desire, because desire feeds on what's almost within reach. It's in the way your eyes meet hers and then drift away, leaving her wanting that gaze back. It's in the way you lean close enough for her to feel your breath, but not close enough to break the tension. It's in the way your hand grazes her shoulder as you guide her through a doorway, or the way your fingers lightly brush against hers before pulling away. Those fleeting moments are small, but they create lasting ripples. The body remembers them, the mind replays them, and the heart starts to crave the next moment you'll close that space again. Subtle touch is communication without words. It's saying, I see you, without having to declare it. When you master it, you're not chasing validation, you're creating connection. The goal isn't to rush toward physical closeness, but to create a feeling that lingers even after the contact ends. You're giving her something to feel about you, not something to simply experience with you. Every small, intentional gesture plants a seed of longing. The less you give, the more she feels. That's the paradox of subtle touch. It's the absence that makes the presence more powerful. But subtle touch only works when it's grounded in genuine emotion and respect. It's not manipulation or seduction for its own sake. It's about presence, awareness, and attunement. You have to actually feel the moment, not perform it. When you're present, when you're attuned to her energy, you instinctively know when to reach out and when to pull back. Your intuition guides the rhythm, and when you follow that rhythm, it creates a dance of connection, one that feels effortless yet unforgettable. You also have to understand timing. Too much too soon kills curiosity. Too little for too long kills warmth. The secret lies in the perfect balance, the in-between. The moment she starts to lean in emotionally, you give her just enough energy to feel secure, and then you withdraw just enough to keep her wondering. The magic happens in that wonder. That's where craving grows. A subtle touch is powerful because it respects boundaries while stirring emotion. It doesn't invade. It invites. It leaves room for her to choose, to feel, to lean forward willingly. It builds trust because it shows you can hold desire without letting it control you. And that's the kind of energy that drives her wild, not force, not demand, but deep, intentional restraint. When you master the move of subtle touch, you stop chasing passion and start creating it. You don't have to prove your desire. She feels it in the way you move, in the silence between your words, in the steady calm of your presence. It's in the space you leave, the gentleness you command, and the confidence you radiate without effort. Because the truth is, the most unforgettable touch is not the one that takes. It's the one that invites her to feel everything without saying a word. The move of deep listening is one of the most underestimated yet transformative ways to make a woman feel connected, understood, and ultimately crave your presence. It's not about simply hearing her words. It's about feeling. Most men listen to respond, to solve, or to defend, but very few listen to understand. When a woman speaks, she's not just sharing information. She's revealing her world. Her tone, her pauses, her sighs, and even her silence. All of it carries meaning. Deep listening means tuning into that emotional language, to the things she doesn't say as much as the things she does. When you do that, you create a kind of intimacy that no compliment or grand gesture can match. A woman's greatest emotional desire is to feel seen and heard for who she truly is. When she feels that, her walls drop. She begins to trust. She begins to open up in ways she doesn't with anyone else. And that's where craving begins, not in passion, but in emotional safety. When she realizes you can handle her truth without judgment, that you can sit in her emotions without needing to fix them, she starts to crave that feeling of being known. Because in her mind, very few people make her feel that way. The man who listens deeply becomes unforgettable because he's not just another voice. He's the silence that gives her space to breathe. Deep listening is not passive. It requires presence. It demands that you bring your full attention into the moment. No distractions, no mental rehearsals of what to say next, no glances at your phone. It's about locking into her emotional frequency. When she speaks, your eyes hold hers not to intimidate, but to signal, I'm here. You have my attention. That level of focus creates an invisible connection. It tells her that in that moment she matters. And when a woman feels that she matters, her heart begins to open naturally. You don't have to force intimacy. It happens on its own. Most men listen with their ears, but women feel listened to through energy. It's in how you nod subtly as she talks, how your face softens when she shares something vulnerable, how your silence doesn't rush her but invites her to continue. When you're deeply listening, she doesn't feel analyzed. She feels understood. You don't interrupt her story to relate it back to yourself. You let her stay in it. You allow her emotions to take up space without trying to shrink them. And that patience, that acceptance, creates emotional gravity. She feels pulled toward you because your energy tells her that she can just be. There's also a different kind of strength in deep listening, the ability to hold space for emotions that might make others uncomfortable. Maybe she's angry, hurt, or confused. Angry, hurt, or confused. Maybe her feelings don't even make sense to her yet. But when you can stay calm and grounded while she's unraveling, she feels the strength of your masculine presence. You're not trying to change how she feels. You're simply holding steady, letting her emotions run their course while your energy says, you're safe here. That steadiness makes her trust you, and trust is the foundation of real desire. Because once a woman trusts you emotionally, physical connection becomes effortless. Deep listening also reveals the small details most people miss. The way her eyes light up when she talks about something she loves, the words she uses when she's excited, the little pauses when she's nervous. Well, when you remember those things and bring them up later, it shocks her in the best way. She realizes you weren't just listening, you were paying attention, and that makes her feel valued on a level that few ever reach. It's that moment when she says, you actually remembered that. That you see the beginning of emotional bonding, but deep listening isn't only about her. It's about you mastering emotional awareness. When you listen deeply, you learn to sense what's real beneath words. You begin to understand the difference between what she says and what she truly means. That insight gives you emotional intelligence, the kind of strength that makes your presence irreplaceable. Because now, your conversations aren't just exchanges, they're experiences. When she sees that you won't collapse under rejection or compromise your standards for her affection, she feels protected by your energy. She knows you'll never manipulate her or depend on her to make you whole. And that kind of energy allows her to relax into her feminine side completely. The truth is, attraction is not sustained by constant closeness. It's sustained by polarity. She needs to feel your presence, but she also needs to feel that you could walk away if the connection loses respect or purpose. That tension creates desire. It reminds her that you're not a man who settles for comfort. You're a man who seeks truth, growth, and authenticity. And because you live that way, your love carries weight. When you master purposeful detachment, you stop needing to chase love. It begins to chase you. You no longer seek connection to feel alive. You bring aliveness to every connection. You become the kind of man whose peace is unshakable, whose energy is grounded, and whose presence commands attention without effort. Because in a world where everyone is desperate to be chosen, the one who can remain whole without being chosen is the one who always stands out. That's the quiet, magnetic force of purposeful detachment, the power of a man who loves freely, but never at the expense of himself. The move of playful boldness is the art of creating attraction through confidence and lighthearted energy that feels effortless yet magnetic. It's the balance between strength and humor, between teasing and sincerity, between courage and joy. Playful boldness is not arrogance. It's the expression of a man fully comfortable in his own skin. It's how you make her laugh, challenge her spirit, and make her feel alive without ever needing to prove your worth. Most men approach attraction with either too much seriousness or too much passivity. The serious man tries too hard to impress. The passive one tries too hard to please. The man with playful boldness does neither. He simply is. He engages with a kind of relaxed certainty that invites her to drop her guard and enjoy the moment. Women are drawn to men who can lead them emotionally out of their heads and into the moment. When you're playfully bold, you give her that feeling. You bring levity to her seriousness, mischief to her routine, and laughter to her overthinking. You become a reminder that connection doesn't have to be heavy to be deep. A teasing smile, a confident joke, or a witty comment delivered with timing and charm can do more for attraction than any line or compliment ever could. Playfulness disarms her. It shows her that you're not intimidated by her, that you can hold her energy without shrinking beneath it. But boldness ensures that your playfulness doesn't slip into boyishness. It gives it backbone, direction, and masculine edge. Boldness is about daring to lead, to speak your truth, to show your desire without apology. It's the courage to flirt openly, to hold eye contact just a bit longer, to say what others are too afraid to say, but in a way that feels natural, not forced. It's the confidence to walk into a room without needing to dominate it, yet still making everyone feel your energy. Playfulness gives warmth to that boldness. It makes you approachable, human, and fun to be around. When those two traits combine, they create emotional tension. She feels the safety of your humor and the power of your presence at the same time, and that mix is intoxicating. Playful boldness also teaches you how to dance with energy instead of forcing it. When she teases you, you tease back, not defensively, but playfully. When she challenges you, you meet her with confidence, not control. When she withdraws slightly, you smile and let her, knowing she'll come back because she can feel that you're not moved by fear. That ease shows her you're emotionally mature. You don't get flustered. You enjoy the back and forth. It turns connection into a game of energy rather than a battle of control. And women by nature love that kind of play. It awakens their femininity, their laughter, their curiosity. At its core, playful boldness comes from authenticity. You can't fake it. It flows from genuine comfort within yourself. It's the result of knowing your worth so deeply that you no longer take rejection or awkwardness personally. You understand that attraction is about energy, not perfection. You're not afraid to say the wrong thing because you know that your confidence can make almost anything sound right. You're not seeking her approval. You're sharing your vibe. You flirt not to win her over, but because it's natural for you to enjoy connection. That self-assured joy becomes magnetic. It tells her that you live life with passion and humor, and that's exactly what she wants to feel when she's around you. A man with playful boldness is unpredictable in the best way. He can shift from teasing to tenderness, from laughter to intensity, without losing his grounding. He can make her giggle one moment and melt under his gaze the next. It's that emotional variety that keeps her captivated. She never quite knows what's coming, but she knows she'll feel something real. He doesn't take himself too seriously, and that gives her permission to relax, to let go of control, to just enjoy being a woman in his presence. That emotional release is powerful. It's what she truly craves. Playful boldness is not about trying to win. It's about enjoying the game. It's about moving through connection with joy, spontaneity, and courage. It's how you show her that you're alive and unafraid to express it. Because when a man carries both laughter and leadership in his energy, he becomes unforgettable. He doesn't need to beg for attention or chase validation. His presence creates it. The combination of a playful spirit and a bold heart makes her feel something she can't get from anyone else. A sense of excitement that feels both safe and thrilling. Safe and thrilling. And once she feels that, she doesn't just want to be around you. She craves the way you make her feel light, seen, and fully alive. The move of vision sharing is one of the most powerful yet often overlooked ways to create deep attraction and emotional connection. It's when a man invites a woman into his world, not by words of possession, but by painting a picture of purpose, direction, and meaning. It's not about promising her the world. It's about showing her the world you are building and allowing her to see where you are going. Vision sharing is magnetic because it touches something primal in the feminine spirit. Women are naturally drawn to movement, to a sense of forward energy. When a man has a vision, clear, passionate, and unwavering, he awakens that part of her that longs to feel safe in a man's leadership, not through control, but through direction. Vision sharing doesn't mean preaching your goals or bragging about your plans. It's not about trying to impress her. It's about inspiring her. When you speak of your dreams, your values, your plans for growth, your words carry a kind of conviction that creates gravity. She feels that you're not wandering through life, but walking toward something meaningful. Meaningful. And when you share that vision authentically, without needing validation, it draws her closer because she sees that your life already has purpose. With or without her. That is the kind of energy that makes a woman not only attracted to you, but believe in you. A man without vision feels lost, and that energy leaks into his relationships. He becomes reactive instead of proactive, dependent instead of inspiring. But a man with a clear vision moves differently. His choices align with something bigger than his desires. His presence carries intent.